Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy, and welcome to Daily Race A. Today I had some time to put in a few daily races, so I figured I'd show you the best and the worst of my outings. Plenty of action, so stick around and check it out. Before we get to it though, if you could be so kind as to hit the like and or subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. And here we go with race one. And you know I like to start it, usually with the worst of my two outings, so you guessed it, this is the worst of the two. Coming out the gates, here we are in cockpit view in the Honda Fit Hybrid, 1.3 liters of Fury, 158 horsepower. I get on the brakes a little bit there, let Mr. Clemmer get out in front as I get banged into the door from the side, get moved into the gravel. The pain of trying to come out of the gravel. Fit with no torque. Let's look at it again. Here's Fabio from back, gets into Jet Ski Joe, who gets into me, shoves us both wide, but moves me completely off the track. Of course, Fabio, I can't believe it's not the butter, does not slow down for either of us. He maintains his pace and continues on after destroying two of his competitors. So, got to quickly put some space between me and P9. Do so through the next set of corners. You see him there in the rear view, looking for a way around the Greddy, but he is not going to find one. Into the hairpin here. He does not take the dive bomb. Much appreciated. So now I can set my sights towards P7. As we fast forward, I find the back bumper of P7 as we come into T1. Now, I was looking good into T1, but they took it really slow through there, so I had to get on the brakes pretty hard there to avoid smashing into him from behind and possibly getting a penalty and ruining any chance of reconciling this race. So I do so nicely there. Now looking for any gap that I can get through here, coming through this next set of corners. You can never really be certain what's going to happen when you got a gaggle of cars like that. So I was just kind of letting off the brake, just trying to keep my momentum going so I could find that spot and hit that gap when it showed up. Into the hairpin, Fabio gets into Master Sergeant Dude USAF. I guess that's what that is. M Sergeant, Master Sergeant. It's just a guess. I don't know. I could be wrong. But gets a 4-second penalty for it. So Fabio, I can't believe it's not the butter, again continues on his mayhem streak. And I'm going to try and chase him down, pass him, put him in my rearview mirror. I go down the right-hand side of P6. He moves back to the right, so I slip it back over to the left, get the good angle coming out of the final corner towards the straight so I can get on the gas nice and early. That's going to allow me to reel him in right quickly here on the straight. Yes, if this was a drag race, he'd be getting his doors sucked off right here. All 158 horses of the hybrid, putting power to the ground. I'm fully out of battery here, as you can see in the fuel gauge. I've only got a sliver of green left, but it doesn't matter. So I took the corner so nicely, was able to just lay it out on him on the straight. So take this corner fairly nice here. Got on the brakes a little late, just to be sure that he didn't try and send it down the inside, which is a common problem on T1 there. But he did not, so I was able to ease off on the brake and get back on the throttle and make a pretty good exit. So set my sights here on the Brazilian in fourth. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name. I know you want me to, but I'm not going to. I refuse. So going down, he's going to give me the outside line here. I'm going to take it. I'm going to brake there, right there by that driveway, and I'm just going to leave it along the outside of him. I see him in my corner of my vision coming pretty fast, and I knew he wasn't going to be able to make it. So I eased off and let him slip by as I slipped back under it on the underside and got the cutback, even though I wasn't really looking for the cutback right there. But it gives me the opportunity to get beside him going down this straight, and I have the inside line coming into turn one, so I have the preferred line here. But either he backs off or I just leave him in the dust as he gets almost behind me. Give him a little bit of my quarter panel to look at as we head into the corner, able to make that move stick through T1. So on the final lap, does the Brazilian have anything for Greddy? A little far back of P3. Having a fool with P5 and P6 on the last laps, I'm unable to catch up to P3. So right now it's going to be a defensive game. My main concern being this hairpin up here. I know he's going to want to send it down the inside. So I'm going to brake a little bit late here and just leave it along the outside so he can't use my door as a brake. And it was the right move, as he does not get into my right rear quarter panel. I'm able to maintain some momentum as I squeeze him to the outside. Then he dives back underneath me. Now that's okay, because I'm going to take a late apex on this corner anyway. Maintain as much momentum as possible, heading down this straight towards the final turn of the race. Again, P3 way off in the distance. Is the 5th place Brazilian going to send it on the last turn? He does send it a little bit, but too much gap there for him to make up. Take the corner nicely and slide on out. Head down the straight to finish the race in P4. So P2 to P8 to P4. Not too bad. So let's go on to the next race, the race of the day. Typically what I'm finding in these daily races is the guys ranked up near the top with the top lap times are generally racing pretty darn clean. Snowblind 61, no exception to that rule. Him, Mr. Clemmer, and some of the other gentlemen I have raced in P1, 2, and 3. Daddy's Cup being one of those as well. I've raced some very clean laps. It's usually when you get in P4 back that, as you can see behind me, things really kick off. So we escape the mayhem in turn one, and I get a little momentum coming out of that turn, and I'm able to get along the left side of Snowblind, looking to keep that momentum coming through turn 2 into this left-hander. I'm able to stay right on his bumper here within 2/10, heading towards the hairpin. I'm not going to send it up inside. I'm going to try and get a good run on him, possibly get beside him coming out of this corner. Have a nice exit there. Again, within 3/10, well within 3/10 and 2/10 and counting down. I'm within the slipstream, heading in this long left-hand turn. Again, you usually want to carry that 71 miles an hour out. Unable to do that, but coming out the other side, I really feel the momentum of the car pick up as I am tucked securely in the backside. So now I've got a choice here. I'm gonna figure out which way he wants to go. He says he wants to go to the inside, so I sling it to the outside. Then he kind of does a half defense there. Not a big deal because I wanted to cut back on the exit. So he stayed tight. I went wide, so I was able to have a little better exit coming out. I'm going to be able to catch right back up to him here on this straight. So you can see in the upper left-hand corner, the delta continuing to decrease. Again, staying within that 3/10 range. Now well within 2/10, cutting down within almost a 1/10. He goes to the inside to defend. I'm going to send it down the outside here and brake here before the skid marks on the tarmac. He goes a little too fast in the corner, a little too hot. I try and slip to the outside, but unable to do so. He blocks it off just enough that I tap him from behind, transfer my momentum into his Honda Fit there. So again, I get on the brakes here just a little bit early. Make sure I can carry the momentum through the corner. Do not want to lose contact with them. Once you lose contact with P1, they tend to scamper off into the distance. Don't want that to happen. So within 2/10 here, heading into the hairpin, I really take it nicely there. He goes in a little bit slow. I tap him from behind. Again, transferring all the momentum that I had built up into his Honda Fit in front. So trying to figure out a way around Snowblind. No easy task. He's taking good racing lines. He's defending well. But I've got to find a way around. I'm going to try and possibly maybe set up something here in the last corner. Very difficult corner to pass because you both typically want to take the same kind of line. So I peek to the inside there. He defends the inside. I jump back to the outside, get on the brakes there at the driveway. I'm going to try to cut back, and then I notice he goes wide. So instead of trying to cut it back in, I stayed outside. I know I've got to keep one tire on the curb or I'm going to get a penalty. Do I get a penalty? I made the move along the outside in the grass. No penalty shows up. It's a clean move. I must have kept 1/8 of an inch of my tire on that curbing coming out the final corner. So I've got the run on him coming down the straight to begin lap 3. He's got the inside line though, so he's going to be able to defend this corner. I brake early. I'm going to try and cut back under him. He gets a little loose in the grass, and I slide down just to the inside, carrying a lot of momentum coming out of that corner as he was too loose there. Came in too fast, too hot. He does not carry the good momentum, so I'm actually picking up time on him coming towards turn 2. take a really nice turn 2 there, get on the gas nicely, and it'll pull a little more gap on him. So I continue to build the gap as we head towards the final turn and the final lap. Cross the start-finish line towards turn 1, and I've got 8/10, and I'm like, oh, I've got this. It's in the bag. As we come through turn 1, a 6/10 lead. He is in the slipstream. As you can see, he takes the corner pretty well, and he's eating away at my lead. Heading into turn 2. Get on the brakes nicely. Let it roll into the corner. Get back on the gas a little bit too late. I could have gotten in a little bit earlier. Could have taken a little more of that corner. I did not. Trying to play it a little bit safe. I know that I've got the ability to defend the line if I need to, so I take it tight coming in to the hairpin to defend the dive. He did not dive. He took a good hairpin as well. He's within 4/10, now down into the 3/10 range. So we head into the big left-hand sweeper. Again, he is well within the slipstream. I am breaking the air for him. That helps that 158 horsepower Honda Fit to tuck right up underneath me as it's not having to fight through the air. Now he's closing within the 2/10 range into the last corner. I get on the brakes just a tad bit early because I want to take an inside line. I want to protect the cutback. He comes within inches of my rear bumper there. Now he's within 2/10, exiting the final corner, heading down the final straight. And he does not have enough momentum to overtake me. I take the victory and the fastest lap. So good race, good win. I did not actually get the fastest lap. Someone else got it. But I did get a clean race and a victory for my 22nd win of the day. So it was an enjoyable race. It was a good time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come back and check out some more videos. Until then, have a great evening. DJ Clean, you know what to do.